Stars, Mark Graham here. Thank you for joining me for Unlocking the Splits. Today team, my goal is to help you identify tight areas in your body so that you can achieve a better lower splits on your left and right legs. So the way that this will work team is, first up we're going to do a cold splits on both legs, see how you're feeling, and then I'll run you through some exercises to lessen off the kind of general problematic areas that people have when they're doing the splits. So I'm just going to re-angle my camera. So to do a cold splits, make sure you just shake out those feet a little bit. Maybe do a couple of squats, just so you're not going to tear anything. Alright team, so we're going to start with our right leg first. I want everyone to kneel down. You want both your hip bones facing forwards. You don't want to be twisted out. Keep those hip bones facing forwards. Two hands in front of to the side of your front foot. And you're going to push your front leg out straight without allowing it to twist or bend left or right. Keep it nice and straight. Your back knee and back foot stay glued to the ground, and you're pushing all the way down into your splits. Now crew, while we're here, you want to think about, where does it hurt? Where does it feel tight? So for me, for example, in my splits, just above the back of my knee, I can feel tightness in my hammy and a slight tightness in my calf. And then maybe just a little pinch in my left hip flexor. So that tells me that those areas are nice and tight. I don't really feel much stretching in my glutes. Some of you might feel stretching in your glutes, so make sure you remember that and remember this feeling. Great, so that's our right leg. We'll swap now over to our left leg. So just make sure you keep in mind those problem areas. So left leg in front, both hips facing forward, two hands in front of you, and sliding down to your left leg splits. So you're going to try and feel where is tight on you. You might find that your right glute or your left glute are quite tight, or a horrible sensation of pulling through your calf. For me personally, I can just feel it once again above the back of the knee in my hamstring. My right hip flexor feels nice and loose. My calves will find this position. Okay? So yeah, essentially when you're in the splits, anything that feels tight is what we're going to try and release for you. Okay? So for me, as I said before, it's the space just above my back knees, my right calf, and my left hip. Okay? Now a lot of you probably felt some tightness in your glutes, so we're going to start with our glutes today. What you're going to need is a wall that you can rest your back up against comfortably. So I'll just change the old camera angle. Look, there's Kate Nelson. Whoop, there we go. Okay, team. So, the best glute stretch I've ever done was taught to me by Ali Walker, a wonderful Melbourne-based gymnastics coach. So thanks, Ali. Making sure your back is nice and flat up against the wall, you're going to be entering the butterfly position. From here, you can make sure you're nice and comfortable, your sit bones are firmly planted on the floor. Feel free to get those hands in there and lift those butt cheeks out of the way. The first exercise, all these exercises are going to hold for 10 seconds. We're going to do it 3 times. So, back nice and straight, hands on your feet. You're going to actively squeezing your glutes, push your knees down to the ground for 10 seconds. So you're pushing your knees down for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. Up next, hands on the knees, pushing their hands down to the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Nice work team, good job. Next exercise, you're going to bring your hands under your knees. I need to readjust, I've come out a little bit. Put your hands under your knees. You're going to push your knees down, but pull up with your arms. Try not to let your shoulders move like I did just then, that was an exaggeration. So I'm holding under my knees. I'm pushing my knees down and pulling my arms up for 10. 9, keep those knees pushing down. 8, feel those glutes activate. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job team. We're going to do those movements 2 more times. So because we have a limited time today, we're going to go straight back into it. Push those knees down without any of your hands for 10. Back's nice and straight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the knees, pushing down for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now scoop those hands under, push down through the knees, lift up through the arms. So team, with this today, with these stretches, some of the stretches you are feeling a stretch, some of them you're actually just relieving the muscles and strengthening the muscles too. 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Got one more round, so push those knees down without your hands for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push the hands down for 10. 9, 8. In this one, can you actually feel that you've gone further? I certainly can. 3, 2, and 1. Now, grabbing those hands under the knees, pushing those knees down, pulling your arms up for 10. Really squeeze those glutes. See how much you can add that resistance in. For 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Alright team, nice work. Oh wait, I hope that was 3 times. It may have only been 2. Ooh. Anyway, we'll move on. I have a terrible memory. Alright team, so we've just stretched out our glutes. I want everyone to now try another cold splits. Well, cold splits. So, right leg in front, 2 hands on either side, sliding down to your splits. So now you might want to see, those of you who had tight glutes, can you still feel that tightness in your glutes? If you can, you probably need to spend more time up against the wall. Let's go the other way. Some of you may even have found that during the second splits, you're feeling less pressure in those built up areas. Releasing those glutes releases a lot of the hamstrings. So that could definitely be what's happened there. Cool. Alright team, up next we're going to release the hammies. So, the first exercise I learned from Jennifer Crane, who is the circus physio. She has an amazing Instagram, you should check it out. What you're going to do is you're going to lay nice and flat on your back. You're going to bring, for this entire exercise you want one leg straight and one leg bent. The leg that's straight needs to stay completely firm on the floor, and your back needs to stay firm on the floor as well. If you have trouble keeping your back straight and you start to round up and arch away from the floor, the best thing you can do is grab a pillow and just place it under your back, not to help you arch, but to remind you to push into the pillow. Yeah, it has to be quite slim. I recommend also a tea towel, just fold it over once or twice. Anyway, to the exercise. Left leg straight, you're going to bring your right leg up. You're going to pull it up as high as you can. My goal is to try and keep the bottom of my quad on my tummy the entire time. From here, with a pointed foot, I straighten my leg into a split. Here, I flex my foot, and I pull my heel down, and I try to articulate back to a point with my foot. Now, the idea of this exercise is it's a nerve glide. Yeah, so you're getting those nerves moving. We're going to do 10 of those. Here we go. So we straighten, we flex, and we pull our heel down. Straighten, flex, pull the heel down. Straighten, flex, pull the heel down. Alright, everyone, keep going. You can copy me and go at the same time as me if you like. Remember, you want to get your back nice and flat on the floor. And you want to think about, as you're flexing the foot, start with the top of the toes and then roll into your flex. And the same on the way down, articulate, push the pads of your toes over the last. Okay? You have about 3 left of our nerve glide. 1 more. Nice work, team. Let's pop over to the other side. So once again, pulling that leg all the way up, we straighten, we flex, we pull it down. This side might be a bit easier for you, or it might be a bit harder. Remember, back nice and flat, keep the quad on your tummy if possible. find the left side is a bit more tighter for me. And 3, and 2, and 1. Good job, team. You can shake out those legs if you need to. Alright, so that's our first exercise done with our hemis. We're going to do a series of 3 movements just like we did up against the wall. You're going to either want to go up against the wall or grab maybe a couch, an armchair that has a flat base. For example, I'm going to be using this coffee table that we have at my house. And I need a flat base along the side, just like this, so I can put my foot in every area knowing that I'm not going to slip off. So you also don't want this object to be able to move very easily. Push up against the wall, and slide my... Alright team. So you can do this up against the wall, it's a bit trickier. But yeah, if you can find maybe even the edge of the couch, or something like that. Okie dokie. So team, we'll start with our left leg this time. You're going to go into a left leg lunge. You're going to put the toes onto the object, straighten out your leg, adjust so you're comfortable. You do want to have a straight line from your shoulder through your hip down to that other opposite side knee. From here, you're just going to stretch forward for 10 seconds. Yeah, so it's just a nice gentle introduction to this exercise. This leg is nice and straight. Make sure your hips aren't twisting. 3, 2, and 1. Alright team, you're going to, the goal now is to get your nose down to your knees. So pushing down, lowering down if you want to. If you can, extend your arms out. Holding for 10. 6, 3, 2, and 1. Alright crew, last exercise. You're going to imagine, and you're going to, push your heel down to the ground, and then pull your leg back. So the idea is I'm imagining that I'm pushing, I'm pulling my hip and my whole leg back. So I'm pushing down and pushing back. My foot has come off the box. You might want to keep your foot on, depending what your flexibility is like. Pushing your leg down, pushing nice and hard, it's resistance. For 3, 2, and 1. Good job, you might want to shake it out. We're going to go again 2 more times. So 10 seconds just at a basic level. For 10, 6, 3, 1, and done. Stretching forwards for 10. Now some of you might get a really good a hamstring stretch here. You might also feel your calves getting a good stretch as well. Alright, the hard one, push the foot down, pull the leg back for 10. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job team, back to our first stretch. You might want to shake out that leg a bit. If your knee's starting to get sore, you might want to put a pillow under the back knee. Alright, easy stretch forward for 10. And now we're pushing forwards, nose down, doing that nice deep stretch. Wonderful work, and now pressing down, pulling back for an extra stretch. You can get your nose down as well. Woo, that's hard. Three, 2, and 1. Good job team, you might want to stand up, shake out that leg. We're going to do the other side now. Now I know we're going quite fast, but you know, it's a very short time to cram a lot of information into, so feel free to pause it though if you need to and go back and watch. Alright superstars, so you've got your right foot or your other leg up against the box, stretching forward for 10. And nose coming down for 10. Making sure both those hips are facing forward, you haven't twisted your hips to the left or the right. And now, pulling the heel down, pulling the leg back for 10. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, shake it out if you need to. We're going to go again, stretching forwards. And nose coming down, a much deeper stretch. And pulling the heel back, pulling that leg back. You can stay bent forward if you want to, or come straight back up. As long as you're pulling that right leg back into you for 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, team. We've got one more movement through that phase. Let's just get that leg moving. After this, we'll do our hip flexors. You may have noticed now your hip flexors maybe even getting a bit tighter while we're focusing on the other parts of our bodies. So we're stretching forwards. Actually, we'll do calves and then we'll do our hips. So pushing forwards. And relaxing down. And pulling back for 10. Pushing down into the floor as well. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew! Alright team, good job. We'll just do our calves very quickly now. So we'll stay up against the wall actually. Now I didn't give you guys the resources that you'll need to do your Achilles. So if anyone is having tight Achilles, feel free to comment in the comments below that you have tight Achilles, and I'll upload a quick little extra supplementary video to help you with your tight Achilles. So team, up first, one foot up against the wall. Oh sorry, we'll go one foot nice and flat, other foot back. From here, you're just going to bend your knee down as far as you can. Try and get a nice calf stretch. If you're feeling it more in your Achilles, you can try and go a little bit lower, or push that back and back a bit more and lower down. We'll do the other side. So depending where you're going to need, bending that leg down, stretching out your calf and your Achilles. But yeah, there is a really good Achilles stretch, so if anyone's super tight, let me know. Just going to readjust. Cool beans. Awesome sauce. Alright, let me just recenter the old camera. Oh. Okay team, so up next, just got 3 exercises for our hips that we're going to be doing. Let's start with our right leg in front first. So we're going to go down to our lunge. Now you want both your hips facing forwards, a straight line from your hip to your knee, a straight line from your knee to your heel. From here, slide the front foot out and push forward into a nice deep lunge. If your knee's really, really sore here, you might want to think about grabbing a pillow. In the lunge, you don't want your knee past your foot. You can see that my foot is under my body at the moment. You want your foot out in front as you're pushing forward. For an extra stretch, think about scooping your hips up, and you'll really feel it in your hip flexor. Nice job team. We'll swap over to the other side. I'm going to grab my pillow. The tiles in my house are very tricky. Okie dokie. So, one foot in front, rotate those hips under, pushing forwards. Alright team, good job. This time, going back to our other leg into our just basic kneeling position. So you have your right leg in front. We're doing a lunge this time, except your foot isn't going to be directly in front of you. You're going to open up to the side, but keep pushing directly forwards. Yeah, so I've got my foot out to the side, and I'm going to push forward and hold here. You'll really feel it, opening up that hip flexor. Nice work, team. Let's go to the other side. So foot in front, open it to the side, pushing forward still with those hips. Try to keep the weight in one direction. You can have one arm resting on your knee. I didn't say that for the other side, I apologise. So you really feel that opening up. If you can't, try and think about scooping your bottom of your tailbone under yourself. Nice work, team. Alright, one more hip flexor exercise and then we're going to try our splits. So, we're going to go back to the butterfly position. 2 feet in front. From here, get your right leg. You're going to replace your foot on your right leg with your knee. So in a nice kind of almost like a Z pattern. From here, you're going to lay back to the floor if you can, or you can stay up on your elbows. And you're going to think about pushing your right hip up into the sky, and you'll really feel your hip flexor opening up. Your lower back might be coming up off the floor. That's okay for this stretch. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, team. We'll come all the way up. And back to our butterfly. Left knee replaces the left foot. And you're crawling straight back behind you. Ooh, stretching out that hip flexor on the other side. Pushing the hip up if you need to. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, nice work, superstars. Alright team, we're going to try our splits again on the floor. Starting with our right leg. Pushing down into your splits and seeing how that feels. Do you feel like you can go further or there's less pressure? If you can still feel those tight areas, that's understandable, but honestly you can work on them and you can, as long as you're very safe, you can keep stretching out your body, looking after your body. Often rolling out on a foam roller or a piece of dowel stick can be really good for releasing those pressured muscles, or a golf ball or something. Let's try the other side. My right leg splits felt amazing then. So, up into the lunge, sliding down into your splits. You might actually find that if you were close before, you're flat now. Yeah, so are there still problem areas? How do you feel? Let us know in the comments below how you went with this lesson, how you're feeling afterwards. If you're finding tight areas, I actually recommend you go back and do the exercises again in this session now, just to see how much more you can unlock. Of course, if you feel any like major pain or anything like that, make sure you stop. Otherwise, hey team, so that was unlocking the splits. The big takeaway from all that for me is I just want everyone to know that it's literally sometimes just recognizing what areas of your body are tight and then focusing on them for a little bit. If you happen to be quite sore tomorrow, a heat pack would be really good on any sore areas. And an Epsom salt bath is also really nice for relaxing in kind of tight or sore muscles. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys next week where we're going to be focusing on our spinal mobility. Thanks everyone, bye.